Welcome to Conversations with Toy, a blogcast tackling life one episode at a time. This is the time to air out life's craziest moments. This space is all about speaking about life's hang-ups and ways in which we can leave better than when we started. Topics are all about ways we can find space to be better in life, love, mental space, and health.
Happy Friday! Are you grateful? Are you happy? Are you excited? We are back, season 6. Let's get this started. I have missed every last one of you in my listening community. I have missed you all. But this rest has been everything and more. To be honest with you, I need to find a way to make a 2 to 3 week rest for all of the social media types of things. But the podcast was given a rest. My voice was given a rest. The editing process was given a rest, but we are back stronger and better, and we are going to be much wiser for it. We are here in the spring. I have missed so many availabilities to tell you the different holidays for Fridays, and I've been able to miss the different things that we have experienced, but we are now in the spring. Now, with that being said, the only thing I can say about the spring is I need that spring weather to be consistent. We have been dipping and dabbing back and forth into that winter air, and I'm not here for that, right? Our little baby toe is still stuck on winter, and I need us to get it all the way together because we are excited to start the spring. Listen, we talk about mental health here, so if this is your first time, let me be the first to welcome you. Hi, my name is Toy of Conversations with Toy. What do we talk about on this podcast? Everything from mental health, self-care, doing better, living better, all of those things that incorporate all that together. We have conversations, and some conversations will make you cry, right? Make you think. Some conversations will make you laugh and say, what's wrong with this girl? I'm okay with all of those things. But now that we're in the spring, if you suffer from mental health and specifically seasonal depression, you know how hard this particular winter was, right? The winter was out here doing the most. Let me just say, I can't wait for the weather to become a little bit more warmer, the sun to be a little bit more brighter, and just to experience those lighter days, right? For me, especially because I go to media events, I know that right about 7 o'clock it's going to get dark. A lot of the events start before 7. It is a beautiful thing to me to leave my house and it's beautifully daylight, and I'm excited about that. Mental health, especially seasonal depression, is super hard. It's one of those it's just a hard thing. You feel sluggish. You don't feel like yourself. You feel all over the place. You don't really feel like you have direction. And that's kind of what it feels like. And then there's those days when you're super sad. You're super sad. You don't even know why. It's just a struggle. But what I will say, just going forward, I do little things in the middle of winter to try to help. For instance, opening the blinds, to let enough natural light to come in, even on days and now even when it rains and it's still cloudy, I still open up my windows to try to extract some type of natural lighting. It does help. It's almost like we're plants, right? We need a little bit of sun. We need a little bit of water. We need a little bit of air. Those are beautiful things. But now that we're here in the spring, what is your spring go-to? What are the things that you're excited for this new season? Have you booked any new hobbies? Yes, hobbies are a beautiful way to express yourself, to learn something new, to challenge yourself, and it's also a form of self-care. If you love to bake but haven't really taken a professional class, why don't you look one up? And then when you find that, you can find all kinds of things. You can do a cake baking class where you learn to just the basics of baking a cake. There's cake decorating classes where you learn how to decorate, and you can go from beginner to intermediate to and above. Find something that you enjoy. This is spring. It's time to step out from the winter. It's time to put ourselves out there. It's time to get out and get some fresh air. Maybe you need to learn how to exercise. And so maybe your beautiful thoughtful process for the spring would be to take a class that challenges you. There are classes like cycling. You can do like boxing, That's always good. Listen, I think every woman, every man too, but every woman should be taking some type of boxing class, because listen, it's hard out here in these streets with these people out here doing the most. So find something that you love. Spring is an awakening. It's a new season for us to just be renewed in our mind, renewed in our bodies. And listen, now that you can take out the whole it's wintertime, because everybody that was complaining about it's wintertime and they can't work out, you should have been working out at home, right? And is working out at home the same thing as working out in a gym? It is not. But is working out and getting healthier better than just not? It absolutely is. So this spring, get out, enjoy, find a hobby. Also, get out in nature. Now listen, maybe your thing isn't to run for a marathon. That's completely fine. But how about learning to take a hike? I have just discovered some new places that I want to take the family. And by family, I mean me and the kids, because my husband is not truly into a hiking thing, but I'm still working on him. And I want us to take this hike. I found this beautiful spot. It's absolutely stunning for us to just get up, go enjoy a hike, come home, and then just have our relaxation time. Now, if I go and take them once and they decide that hiking is not for them, I am not that parent. I'm not that spouse that's going to be like, we got to go every time. Absolutely not. But I'm going to get up and probably continue to get out in nature just a little. Find something that you can do. Festival season is almost here, and that is when people are going to be out the most. Do whatever your comfort level is. COVID is not gone anywhere. Apparently there's a new variant out there. So I'm not telling you to just get out here and go buck wild. I am telling you that just find something that you enjoy doing. I like to go to like farmers markets. Originally I'm from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and there's nothing but amazing, and I mean amazing, farmers markets in Lancaster. There are stands all over the place. You can go and you can buy fresh fruit and pies and bakeries from the Amish, and it's a beautiful thing. And I still gravitate towards that. I still gravitate towards that small time feel. So there's a lot of spaces and places around Philadelphia or in Philadelphia that I have found that carves that kind of like lifestyle out for me. And I am always in all of it. I never will get tired of it. I just love it. And so, yeah, consider that. With spring being here, let's move our bodies a little bit more. But let's also talk about wellness. There are a million ways to achieve wellness that doesn't always require you working out 5 days a week. I think you should move something. I think you should get up and try to be active every single day. I would encourage you to take a 15 to 30-minute walk every single day if you're not the type of person that wants to do a traditional workout, right? Moving something is valuable. You don't want your knees to get all cracked up. You don't want to, listen, I'm getting a little bit older. So if you thought like, don't age me out, but I am getting a little older. And stuff don't move the way that it once did. So you got to get active. You got to get in this movement. Like movement is a beautiful thing, because if you don't move it, you will lose it. And who wants to be out here depending on somebody to get from point A to point B? Now I may get there, right? I may get there later on in life, but I want that to be a seasonal, we get to that season. We're not in that season right now, right? Stop aging yourself out. Right? Yes, your back hurts. My back hurts. I found new things in my back and my legs and my arms. Yes, aging is what it is. But listen, you have not aged out. You're still here, right? You're still breathing. So if you have your limbs and you have the ability to move, you need to move it so you don't lose it, right? Move so you don't lose it. Another thing we need to be thinking about this spring is, have you booked a vacation? Yes, according to your comfort level, do what is best for you. But it's time to book a vacation, right? A family vacation, a vacation if you're with a boo, you have a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a fiance, or whomever, book it. Also, don't discount and count yourself out. Book a solo trip. This time a few years ago, I started my first journey on doing solo trips. I went to Arizona, Sedona, and it was the most beautiful thing. I went by myself. I had to put in some certain safety precautions. Like, for instance, the only people who knew that I was where I needed to be was my small circle of friends or family that needed to be accounted to where I was. If I got into an Uber, I shared my ride so that somebody would know where I was. I was not, and let me repeat, I was not on social media. I was not checking into places while I was there. I was not checking into my hotel while I was there, because again, I wanted the people to believe that I was still at home in Philadelphia doing the life that I was normally living versus them knowing that I was in a completely different time zone and in a different state, right? Things like when you're at a bar and somebody's like, oh, you're here for da. No, I'm here meeting a friend, or, I'm a local, blah, blah, blah. Like, don't let people know too much information about you when you're out and about, because there are weird people that will do the absolute most. Oftentimes too, don't drink a lot. Like, listen, I know you want to go try a lot of drinks, and I'm not telling you not to drink at all. I'm telling you to limit the amount of drinking that you are doing. For instance, the hotel that I stayed at when I was in Arizona, the bar was almost like behind my room or in the front of my room. So I would take, if there was a bunch of drinks that I wanted to try, I would have one or two at the bar, and I would just take those drinks back to my room, right? Take a few drinks with you, take them back to your room, and then you can experience these drinks without being in the presence of other strangers and being uncomfortable where you may be, right? So that's a beautiful tip. Take the drinks, if you can, back to your room and enjoy them there. Have a game plan. Like, also make sure that if you are a wine drinker or some type of other drink, buy that drink and have it in your room so that if you don't feel like going to the bar, you can do those things as well. So I did that. And I also brought my portable tripod with me while I was out so I can get my shots. I don't want to keep asking random strangers, can you take my picture? I don't mind doing it because I'm sort of a people liker, where I like people sometimes, sometimes. But I could put my tripod, get my shot, close it up, keep it moving. I was actually in the zoo. I went to the zoo. I love animals. Me and my kids, to this day, we sit around and we watch all kinds of different animals on video, different social media places, and just whatever. And while I was there at the zoo, I set that tripod, got my shot, kept it moving. Nobody even cared. They just walked right around me, didn't pay me not a bit of attention, and I was able to get what I needed to get. If you have one of those extenders, like almost those selfie sticks, you can do that too. I don't like the selfie stick look. So if I wanted a full shot or whatever I was doing, I just put that tripod up, and it has like a little bag that I could just carry in or put it in my book bag. I had a little book bag that I had. And yeah, so you can travel by yourself, right? If you're scared to travel abroad, that's fine. Try travel where you're local to, right? Or travel maybe a state or two away, or just travel in the States, period. Then go by yourself. I went for about a week. It was a full week, right? By myself, enjoying the food that I love, eating, drinking, and experience. Let me just say this. Some people go on solo trips and they only want to confine themselves to the hotel. If that is your case, that's what you want to do that. But then this is what I would do. If you don't want to travel, if you're traveling out and you don't want to go to a bunch of excursions, make sure that the hotel that you choose has every amenity that you could think of. Whatever you want, make sure it has. Make sure it has an indoor and outdoor pool. Make sure that it has a spa. Make sure that it has a whirlpool. Make sure it has all the things that you may want, a workout station, whatever the case may be. Spend that money on getting a hotel room that you love. Let me just say this for the grown people. If we travel together, please don't ask to get some janky room and say the words out of your mouth of, we only going to be there to sleep. Everybody that I know is either in at least their 30s. Like, I don't really hang out with anybody that's 20 on a regular basis, right? And so if you're about 30 or 40 and up, you don't need to be sleeping on just a janky room talking about we just going to sleep. We are not in college anymore. Let me put that PSA out there one more time. If you are traveling with me or any groups of people that are in the same age range of myself, and you are grown, I said it correctly, grown, meaning you are grown, you want to beat yourself in the chest and say you're grown, you need to live like you grown. And that means when you travel, you get a hotel that is comfortable, beautiful, has all the aesthetics. You are grown. You don't need to be at anybody's hotel. You don't be at anybody's motel unless you are traveling for an emergency and you just had to get in and get out. And even then, that may be even still, find other ways. But there's no reason for grown people to still be traveling like you're in college. Okay. Yes, you are going to just be sleeping in a room because you're going to be doing all the things. But when I go to sleep, I want my back to be appreciated, right? I want my muscles to be appreciated. So we're not going to be cheap. We are not going to cheapen ourselves when it comes to sleeping in a hotel just because we just only going to sleep. No, ma'am. We're going to sleep like grown people. So this is why when you do travel with other people, travel with people who are like-minded. Travel with people that are within the same line of budget, or if they're your really good friends, then find a way to meet different budget needs. And this is for only good friends. If you are meeting and you're traveling with people that you know, you just met, or you've been around for a year or just a couple of years, travel with the same budget line. Everybody needs to be in the same budget line. And I say that because you have not established a friendship to where you feel the need to cover someone. And I don't mean cover them financially. I mean cover them in the fact that if they're not able to do something, you're okay with not doing that because you're a really good friend. So this is for good friends that you find but different budget lines. When you have just met your friends and you've only been friends for a few years, you stay aligned the same budget. Also have emergency money, because listen, I have seen, especially if you're on TikTok, I just go in there and look up travel. And the amount of people that post about how they've gone to, let's say, Florida. Apparently Florida is not the place you want to go if you going as friends, because people go as friends and come back as enemies. Have emergency money. If you act funny on me on vacation, and I mean to the point where my levels of uncomfortability is there and I can't be comfortable at the trip, I will not hesitate to leave the room that I'm in and have the money enough to go find me a new hotel, a new room, a new whole plan. I am just of this serious mindset. This could just be that 41. I'm about to be 41, about to just kick in. I am not about to sit up here and be miserable on a trip that I took the time to save my coins up, be away from my family and my husband, and take time from media events that I could have been making money from, to be on vacation with somebody that's going to make me personally miserable. If that is the level of friendship, and if me being a friend and that's not my requirement that I need to be miserable with you, we're not traveling together. Okay. Spring is about awakening, taking on new things, traveling, enjoying life, getting out, being out a little bit more, because again, it gets a little bit warmer. It hasn't gotten warmer yet, but it's on its way consistently, right? But why are we not making these plans to get ourselves all the way together so that we can get our minds right, like get our bodies together, just enjoy life? Now, listen, you may be listening to the workout part and saying to yourself that you know people who worked out and they did all the things and then they're not here to tell their story. And it's unfortunate. We just want to send our condolences to all those people who have had that happen. But if you think that you are going to use it as an excuse and that's going to be your cop-out, you are sadly mistaken. Yes, there are plenty of people who have worked their lives and have worked out, people who are personal trainers that have passed away. But I would hope, maybe not always the case, but I hope that you understand that with wellness, it's not just about a workout plan. With wellness, it's not about limiting the food that you eat, right? Wellness says, what do I need to feel good in my body, my mind, and my soul? So do I need to find ways to cut out toxic friends? That is also a part of wellness, right? Getting yourself together. Am I not praying enough, right? Is my spirituality not strong? Whatever my spirituality may look like. Am I doing enough in that area? Because there's some things that we need to do in that. If you're not praying enough, you're not meditating enough, if you're not, reading the scriptures or whatever you choose to read, you're not getting better and grounded and becoming stronger and becoming more beautiful person every single day because of it, then you need to, that's part of your wellness as well, right? It's not just losing weight. It's not about eating. It's not about limiting. It's about finding ways to do better. What does your morning routine look like? If your morning routine includes you grabbing your cell phone first thing in the morning, then you need to find a way to get on to do better and do it fast. Your first thing should be finding a way to actually carve out time, meaning stop getting up last minute. Let's stop hitting that snooze button twice. Like maybe hit it once, but let's not hit it twice. Let's go ahead and get up. Let's go ahead and stretch. Let's go ahead and drink some water. Let's go ahead and make our beds up. Let's go ahead and listen to a podcast that's going to make me think better. That's going to make me consider a different thought process. That's going to get me thinking and getting my mind moving. Let's get up and get that breakfast going. So let's stop doing the fast food spots. Let's make some breakfast at night. Let's make some things happen. Let's pack our lunches. Let's make sure we have our snacks ready for the day. Let's make sure that we're color coordinated and we're feeling good about the things that we're putting on our body, right? And let's stop dressing for the size we think we should be at. And let's go ahead and dress for the size that we are and work towards that size we want to be, right? The morning routine matters about how you start your day, the things that you put into it. And one of the first things you should not be grabbing is your cell phone, right? You need to stay away from your cell phone unless you're using that cell phone to turn on meditation, meditation music, or maybe you're using your cell phone to turn on a podcast that you listen to that energizes you in the morning. That's okay. But we're not talking about getting on there to look at social media, to scroll mindlessly. Listen, whatever stories that were there will be there when you are done with your morning routine. Set up 10 to 15 minutes to do the things you need to do. Sometimes I do a little bit longer. It's, it is what it is. I try to get up, sometimes mostly to get up before the whole house gets up, so that my mind is right, so that I'm not irritated when I get up, right? So that my kids can't set me off just because I didn't start my day off correctly. Take control of your mornings and do the things that you need to do so that you can be more empowered to have a most amazing day. But what are you also doing at night? Talking about spring, right? We're talking about renewing, right? We're talking about getting ourselves right. What are you doing at night? If you have a TV show that you just feel you must watch, go ahead and watch it. But if the TV is then going to be watching you, let's start setting our nighttime routine to include going to bed at an earlier time, because most of us have some form of DVR or some type of recording device, or you can go online and watch something that you probably missed, so you're not missing out on anything, right? I want us to try to find ways to get better sleep. And better sleep doesn't just mean going to bed early. Better sleep means, did you set your nighttime routine to make sure that you get that sleep? For instance, journal prompting, writing in your journal or gratitude at nighttime right before you go to bed is a beautiful thing. Maybe you like to listen to a podcast. There's even things that you can use on your phone, apps that you can use like Calm, that you can listen to somebody that tells you a bedtime story. Basically, it's basically a bedtime story for adults, and you can listen to calming music. I have a sound machine that I love to play. It plays different types of things. You can listen to the wind. You can hear raindrops. You can hear waves. I have light therapy that I put on that helps me to have the blue light that helps me go to sleep. Those are ways that you can make sure that when you're using your nighttime routine well, that you can go to sleep and get the sleep that you truly desire. As we go along this Friday, let me just say, Fridays are a beautiful thing. And I used to hear people say that you're not supposed to look towards for a Friday. And in general, you probably shouldn't. But the other flip of that is making sure that you have to just be excited about all the things. Excited for all of the things. And that's what I'm always looking forward to. How can I be more excited about life? How can I just be more grateful in the things that are happening? How can I find a way to just be present, right? Being present. With today's national holidays today is National All Is Ours Day. It's also National Zoo Lovers Day, and I am definitely a zoo lover. And it's National Empanada Day. If you've never had an empanada, please grab one, get one, enjoy one. They will change your entire life. There is nothing better than having this little pocket of whatever you just decide to put inside and biting into that golden crust. It's absolutely amazing. And yes, you can make a vegan empanada for my vegan or vegetarian lovers. You can make it and change it to put inside whatever you choose to put inside. It's amazing. But National Zoo Lovers Day, if there's an animal that you love, post that animal, look that animal up. And maybe this would be a great time to get you some tickets to the zoo. In Philadelphia, the zoo is one of the most amazing things. They are doing some new things this spring, adding some new exhibits. There's changing up a couple of things. So get to your zoo, whatever the newest nearest zoo near you is, and enjoy. When I went on my solo vacation a couple of years ago, I went to Phoenix. And that zoo is amazing. I was able to feed the giraffes. I was able to take camel rides. It was everything. So just be on the lookout for those types of things if that is those things that you choose and love to do. Today's guest we have is Arielle Jacobs. She is playing Princess Jasmine. Yes, we have a royal guest in the house ready to talk to us. The Kimmel Center is hosting Disney concert for Philadelphia. This Disney concert show is 4 princesses that travel together. They also have other guests that travel with them as well, but it is basically the Disney princess in concert, and they get to sing about over 30 songs in this concert. You hear stories from behind the scenes of things that happened while they were traveling. It's an amazing, amazing show. I will be taking my daughters to see that show on Tuesday, so if you are in or near the Philadelphia area, the show is coming to the Kimmel Center on April the 12th. Tickets are still available. Go ahead and grab you a set. Listen, you don't even have to have kids. If I didn't have kids, I still would go. I used to do things like this all the time, even before I had children, because I'm like the biggest kid at heart. But it's a show. It's going to make memories. You're going to just enjoy yourselves. You're going to sing all the songs, the whole new world, all of the things. And you're just going to have an amazing time. I can't stress this enough. In the show notes, I'm going to include the link. So if you want to get tickets, go ahead and do so. Also in the show notes, I'm going to include how to use your cell phone for self-care. It's a blog that I did, I believe, almost a year ago. But since we're grabbing our phones in the morning, I want you to use that phone for self-care. So I'm going to put that link in the show notes as well. Also, follow me on the blog because, I'm a blogger as well. A blog is basically a written form. There's bloggers for everything. I am a lifestyle and mental health wellness blogger. So that means that I talk about the different things that I'm doing in my life every single day. I also talk about different mental health things, and I talk about topics that will help us to become better at our wellness. So listen to the Continuous podcast. We have so many different episodes that talk about all kinds of different levels of things. We talk about grief. We talk about finances. We talk about marriages. We talk about divorce. We talk about our children. We talk about not having kids because I believe that everyone should have a choice. We talk about friendships and how to detect if someone's toxic. And if that toxic friend is you got to take accountability in that. There are so many topics that are covered in this podcast that if you have something that is sparking you, go ahead and just look it up. It'll come to you. Go ahead and listen. If you struggled with like mental wellness, if you felt like you were the only person in your family that was dealing with some form of depression or some form of something, and you were the only one, and so you felt isolated, or maybe you had a partner that didn't listen to you when you were going through your hardest times, there's a podcast on that from me. We talk about that as well. We talk about the highs, the good things that we're doing in life, right? And we talk about those lows, those times when you missed the mark, when you thought you had it all together and then you discovered you did not. So this podcast really is for you. It's for you to become better and sometimes listen to someone else who's just as normal and an everyday person like yourself, who feels like you're just like a unicorn out here in this world because you feel, again, that feeling by yourself is such a hard feeling, right? Feeling alone and feeling unsupported. I'm here to try to offer you as much support, as much encouragement, and as much resources that I can possibly think. So in every show notes, there is usually a blog or at least a link to a blog that I feel will be helpful and that will help you. If you love to read, go ahead and give it a read. It's a 3 to 4 minute read, right? Some of the episodes even have my voice attached to them, so you can hear me speak out the blog. It's amazing. And again, you can listen to the podcast and also follow me on social media. You can follow me on social media as Toy Time Blog, but we have a princess that is waiting and we will not keep her waiting long. We have Arielle Jacobs, Princess Jasmine, playing at the Kimmel Center this upcoming Tuesday, April the 12th, for anyone in or around the Philadelphia area. The tour will end on April the 16th, and that's just for their first leg. They will be back, I believe, in the fall, and they have many more shows that they're going to be doing. So see where they are playing near you. But if you are from Lancaster, my hometown, I want you to look those tickets up. There are 2 shows. Don't wait till the last minute. As you know, once everybody starts to get word that there's some Disney princesses coming into town, they're going to take their families. So make sure you get your tickets early. Without any further ado, Princess Jasmine, we welcome you. All right, Conversations with Toy Family. First of all, this is the first episode back after a 2-week break. And what better way? I mean, absolutely, what better way than to be talking to a princess? I have now officially hit royalty status. I am now officially going to be probably the best mom on the block, just from talking to the special guest that we have today. So I'm going to let her introduce herself to you. And then we're going to talk about what she's doing, how you can see her and her friends. And let's get right into it. Take it away.
Hi, my name's Arielle Jacobs, and I'm a Broadway performer. I starred as Princess Jasmine in Aladdin on Broadway.
And you can't see her,
but she is absolutely stunning. And I can see why
Oh,
she's
thank
Princess
you.
Jasmine. So yes, now I am talking to Princess Jasmine, guys. How amazing is that to have our first episode? We're here with royalty to talk about the show. If you don't know, Disney Princess, it's a concert. It's coming to the Kimmel Center. So to all of my Philadelphian who are near and far who want to come to the show is coming to us here April 12th. So you still have time to get your tickets. There are even tickets for you to, I believe, meet and greet the princesses. They have a couple VIP tickets that are available. It's going to be a great night. What can they expect?
Well, what's really cool about this Princess concert is you are going to meet some Broadway royalty. I am talking not just myself, but there are four Broadway leading ladies that are performing this concert. So it's myself. I starred as Jasmine on Broadway. We have Cindy Winters, who played Nala in The Lion King on Broadway. We have Susan Egan, who was not only the voice of Meg from the animated film Hercules, but also the original Belle from Beauty and the Beast on Broadway. And we also have Annalisa Vanderpool, who was the final Belle on Broadway, but you also know her from the Disney Channel show That's So Raven and Raven's Home. She played Chelsea Daniels. So what's awesome about this concert is we are singing and celebrating the songs of all 12 Disney princesses and the two queens from Frozen, of course. But we're also going to be telling backstage stories and behind the scenes stories about how we booked our roles as these princesses, what it was like to play these roles on Broadway. So if you love Broadway and maybe you haven't had a chance to go see some Broadway because you know how the last 2 years have been,
Very much
this is
so.
really your opportunity. I mean, you are in the presence of some real Broadway legends and also getting to enjoy the music of Disney that everybody loves because not only are you going to hear the songs from the Disney films, but you also get to see the animations because we've got a 45-foot LED screen behind us playing the animations from these movies. So it's really beautiful and such a great experience for everyone, for all ages.
Yes, I love that. And I also saw that you guys are even encouraging those who want to dress up to dress as their favorite princess. So I have to step
Yep,
up my
yep.
game and figure this out, what I'm going to wear. I know my daughters are going to be covered because they have so many so many princess dresses. So I love that we're going to get a little bit of concert. We're also going to just hear the stories and then the animation, which I know Kimmel Center has been well known to be one of those places. I've attended so many shows there and they are larger than life. So I know without a shadow of a doubt that once we come and see the princesses, that it's going to be absolutely amazing.
Yeah, the Kimmel Center is gorgeous. I've been there as well, and it's really one of those nights that you're going to remember the rest of your life.
Absolutely. And how long is the actual concert in the show itself? How long is the show?
So the show's just under 2 hours. It's a full two-act concert with an intermission in the middle. Um, and it moves by so fast. I mean, we cover what, like 30 songs maybe. And you get to hear these songs differently than you've ever heard them because some of them are arranged in four-part harmony. So like, can you imagine you're going to get to hear all the songs from Let It Go, but in four-part harmony. So
Now,
it's such a surprise when you hear it and it's like overwhelming. And we actually had a single come out last month. Was it last month or the month before? Now we had a single come out. The four of us recorded a single of a medley of All Is Found and Into the Unknown from Frozen 2. So you can kind of get a taste of what this four-part harmony is going to sound like. It's so epic.
oh wow, that sounds really amazing. What has been one of your? I mean, you played Princess Jasmine. We all know Jasmine's story. What has been one of like, if you have more than one, just one of your favorite moments of playing Princess Jasmine, specifically for this show? Like, what has been like your best moments, like that you best memory?
Well, you know what's really cool about this concert is because it's a concert, I get to perform three different Princess Jasmine songs from different, from different, what are they called?
I
Um,
would say like showcasings or
I get like you hear the original Whole New World from the animated film, of
Mhm.
course. We have a Prince Charming with us as well, Adam Levy from
Nice.
Waitress. And So you get to hear 3 different Jasmine songs from different places. You get to hear A Whole New World from the animated film. Then I get to sing These Palace Walls, which was a song written for Jasmine just for the Broadway show. Then I get to sing Speechless, which was the Jasmine song written just for this live action remake that they just
Okay.
did. So because it's not just the movie or just the Broadway show or just the live action, it can take from so many different worlds and put them together. And I think that's been really thrilling as Jasmine to be able to really take the audiences on a journey from through all the different areas that they might know Jasmine from, you know?
That's actually, to be honest with you, I'm really more becoming more and more excited. How is you guys coming together? Like, is it a sisterhood, or you guys like all the communication with each other? I mean, because you're doing a lot with the tour. It could be, do you guys tour to, like, you travel together? How does that work?
Yeah, we are on a first class tour bus, like rock star status. We we are living and sleeping and traveling on this tour bus. We're performing in a different city every single night.
Hmm.
So, the show ends, we get ready for sleep to get on that bus, and we sleep on that bus to get to the next city. So it's definitely close quarters, but I will say that the cast is such a joy and everyone is so positive. So we don't get sick of each other. And if anything, it's like after one day apart, we're like, hey, I missed you. Like if we had a day like yesterday, we had a day off, and we get a day off about one day a week. We get to stay in a hotel. So
Okay,
like
that's good.
yesterday we slept in a hotel for our one day off, and then I didn't see my friends for a whole day. It was kind of sad.
Oh, my goodness. When does the tour actually end, and what city is that?
The tour ends in Lancaster on April 16th. So
And
it's coming up pretty fast. We've been on the road now for 10 weeks.
oh
So
God,
it was a 12-week tour total for this leg, and then actually it takes a break and starts up again in the fall. So
amazing.
it's going to go to some more cities that it hasn't been to yet later this year.
Well, I'm glad that it's ending in Lancaster, since that's where I am actually originally from. So to my Lancaster friends and family that are listening, don't say I haven't told you or given you a heads up. You better go ahead and grab those tickets, because they
Yes,
are, I'm sure, selling, if not already sold
they
out.
are definitely selling. And we've got 2 shows that day in Lancaster. We have a matinee and an evening show, so they definitely have chances to come, but we got to get those tickets fast.
Yeah, get those tickets. It's not a game. At the end of the day, you know, I know for a fact, like I was actually going to go to Lancaster because it's easy for me to go there. I have my family to stay with them, but we'll be sitting here at Kimmel. But if you are near the Lancaster area, Harrisburg, whatever, and you're going to get there, I would suggest you go ahead and get those tickets. What is one of your absolutely favorite songs, whether it's from Princess Jasmine or any other of the Princess songs? What's one of your favorite songs?
Well, of course, I love to sing A Whole New World. Everyone loves that one. My other favorite song in this concert is actually Colors of the Wind from Pocahontas. That song has been in my heart since I was a little girl. And to get to sing that on this stage with the animation behind me and with the gorgeous music, all of this music was arranged and recorded. It was arranged by Benjamin Rauhala, who's our musical director. We call him our fairy god fairy, because it was really, this show was his brainchild and he brought us all together. And so Benjamin Rauhala created the arrangements and the harmonies for all of our 4-part harmonies, but he also did the orchestral arrangements and recorded a huge orchestra of musicians in Nashville. So all of the tracks that you're going to hear us singing along to are real live musicians that he recorded. So I mean, gosh, when he plays that piano live with us on stage and I get to sing Colors of the Wind, I feel like I'm living my biggest Disney dreams.
I would imagine. How long does it take you to get ready? Like, how long does it take everyone to like pull their outfits and things together? Because I'm sure you have several outfit changes throughout the show.
What's cool about this concert is we're really coming to it as ourselves. So
Okay.
we have some fancy gowns and beautiful gowns that you're going to see with a lot of sparkles. I will say that. So, but we have and we're kind of matching with each other, so we kind of look like a rainbow sherbet across the stage, really cute. And we have our tiaras as well, whether it's a sequin sparkly tiara or a flower crown, we definitely change it up a little bit. But it takes us a few hours throughout the day to get ready. I will say, we kind of start early afternoon. We do our vocal warm-ups together as a group in the dressing room. Then we have, our sound check where we have to check our mics, make sure everything's good. And because every theater's different, so we
Different,
hear
right?
differently in every theater. And then we do our makeup and get ready for that VIP meet and greet because we say hi to fans in every city and we have like a photo opportunity. So it's really a full day event to get ready for this concert each night.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I would imagine. I really would imagine that. Has there been a favorite city of yours so far on the tour?
There's been a couple of great cities. We went to Anaheim, home of Walt Disney himself.
Mm-hmm.
And that was really fun because we had a meet and greet down at downtown Disney, which is, part of Disneyland there. So we met some really amazing people dressed in great costumes. We had a full Hercules and Meg couple, dressed as Hercules and Meg. That
Wow.
was really fun. And then, it's been fun to see some other towns like Ashland, Oregon was gorgeous. It's like
Mm,
the home of the Shakespeare festival there. And that's the main town there with like mountains all around you, and you just smell so much nature when you're there. I loved that. And then also San Antonio was really cool because there's this river walk downtown. So you get to be in the middle of all these buildings, but there's these canals where you get to follow along, this river. And there's like little crevices and courtyards of artwork and, nature hidden in this river walk. And it's really beautiful and unexpected. I'd never really experienced that. So it's lots of little hidden gems we've had all across the country.
How do you deal with just like touring and being to these different cities, waking up to a different city every day, you're staying on the bus and then you have your one day off where you get to stay at a hotel. Like, how do you like compartmentalize? Like, how do you really like take care of yourself? Like, I'm a big, huge component of self-care. How do you take care of yourself? And, dealing with, all these things to get ready, you're meeting wonderful people, but that's can be overwhelming and a lot. How do you deal and handle all of that?
Water, 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 water. Got my big gallon of water over here. I also sleep a lot. I try to get as much sleep as I can. And mentally, I think I've learned a lot in this time specifically about letting go of control. And learning to be adaptable because every time I wake up and I'm in a new city, I I wake up on that tour bus. I usually don't know what city I'm in at
Right.
all.
That's what I was
But
going to
like
ask you.
I usually wake up in the tour bus, I go into the theater and it's completely a labyrinth and I don't know where my dressing room is. I don't know how to get to the stage. So it's a lot of letting go of control because there's no way for you to keep a track of everything. And the more that I've just let go and said, I am where I am, and it's a practice of being present. It really is, because I know that where I am right now is where I'm supposed to be.
Right.
And I know I'm doing a show later for, 2,000 people who are going to be really happy. So if I just focus on getting myself ready for that, I don't have to think about anything else. I just try to, you know, let go of control, and I try to make life easy. Do you know LaShawne's on Broadway? She's a big Broadway star. I
Hmm.
met her at an event, and I met her brother, who was also a big touring musician. I was telling him about this concert, and I was so nervous before coming on tour. And I said, what do I do to keep my sanity?
Right.
Because I've never been on a tour like this. And he said, MLE, make life easy. So
Mm,
whatever you have to do, if it means, shelling out another, you know, $80 to get a hotel room in a random city because you know that you need 4 hours of good sleep that's not on a tour bus, then you do it. You
right.
do whatever you have to do to make your life easy, MLE. And I think those things, making my life easy as much as I can, letting go of trying to control everything or even keep track, because why do I need to keep track? Why do I need to know? They're going to tell me.
Right.
They're going to tell me what time to get on the bus. They're going to tell me how to get to the dressing room. We have these little plastic signs that are the same in every city. So there's arrows on it. So when I walk
Okay.
in the stage door, I look for that sign. It tells me with an arrow which way to go to get to where I need to be, you know? So I just think it's fun.
Well, that's good. I mean, I love that you have that mantra and that you're taking care of yourself, because I feel like even no matter what our lives are, like at a time where we need to be worried about our mental health and making sure that we're okay, I feel like sometimes we miss that part of it. And I'm always clear on bringing that up in any podcast that we talk about, to make sure people understand that you could be touring and being having the life of your dreams and doing the things that you love, but you also have to be, aware of what you need at every given moment.
Yeah, definitely. And have a support system, right? Because on this tour, I could not do this by myself, but we have a tour manager, we have a wardrobe supervisor, we have a musical director who's always like helping us if we have any vocal issues or questions. But to have your support system of people who can help guide you along the way, that's really important.
Absolutely. And what would you, if you had something that you wanted to leave the listeners, whether they're parents that are listening, that may be wanting to take the show, maybe parent people who aren't parents, who just are listening, and they may be deciding to take, to get their tickets and to enjoy the show. But outside of the tickets, outside of the show, what would be one thing you would want to leave with people?
Outside of getting your tickets to see this show,
Yes, 'cause we want you to get
I
the
really,
tickets too.
we definitely want you to get your tickets.
Get your tickets.
But I also would say one of the things about this show is so special is recognizing when you have an opportunity to make someone's life better. And I think that coming to this concert is is not just going to be a fun time, but it's an emotional roller coaster of I mean, hearing how much this music has affected people. Um, I look out there and I see people in tears.
Hmm.
And I mean, people of all ages. I really do. I see them out there being taken on a journey that they didn't expect. I see them connecting to the people around them, like the parents and their kids. Or sometimes I see, people on a date night, or a girls' night out. And
Right.
these are adults who are really bonding over this experience. So it's making their lives brighter. So I think this shows an opportunity to brighten the day of somebody that you love, and to take yourself out for a night because you deserve it after what we've been through for the
Yeah.
last 2 years.
Yes, I'm always
um,
about that too. Because
yeah.
then that's the one reason why I'm glad to take the girls, just because, I want them to have these experiences that we can have, because life is about making experience, and it's not about the things, it's about experiences and having memories
And
and
making
yeah.
memory. My mom says that every day because I lost my father last year
Sorry.
to Alzheimer's, and
Hmm.
and he had Alzheimer's, and my mom was always saying that, the most important thing is to keep making memories,
Yeah.
because even if they're going to forget, my dad didn't remember everything, but even if he's going to forget, the momentary joy is worth it.
Right.
So I think that's another reason to
And
make
those
this
memories
happen.
will live on. Those memories will live.
Yes. Yeah. Another thing I want to mention, Latoy, is if anybody wants to hear about what it's like to travel on the road and be in a royal van, as we call it, and to take these shows across the country, and what it's like to have to get ready in a different city every day and have some performance tips. One of the cast members, Cindy Winters, who played Nala in The Lion King, she and I actually are about to release a podcast about this experience. We're doing a touring podcast. It's called Royals on the Road.
I love
So
that.
if anyone wants to check that out, that's probably going to be released in the next couple weeks.
Well, I will definitely make sure that we put that out, so we can get some listeners and some subscribers, because I'm going to listen to it. I would love to hear like what life really is like behind the scenes on tour, because I couldn't even imagine. Like after a while, like maybe the first couple of days, I probably would be like excited, and then you like, how do you get past like the excitement starts to wear because it becomes mundane and routine? Like, how do you get past that?
Well, it doesn't get mundane and routine because of the schedule and because we're in different cities and because it's an adventure.
Okay.
Every single day is a new adventure.
I like that.
It's always different.
I like that. I love that, actually. Well, I am so grateful for you to join our community of listeners and give us your insight on the show. Remember, they are coming to the Kimmel Center on April the 12th. Please get your tickets. The last show is in Lancaster. It was April the 16th. Two shows. So if you are, from the listeners that are from my hometown, if you are listening, like I said, I'm putting you on, grab your tickets because they are going to sell out. You are going to want to get there and experience this whole adventure, right? Of just listening to the princesses and our two queens come together and tell you the stories from behind the scenes. I cannot wait. We are going to be there on time, if not early, because I know that show you probably going to want to get there extremely early to show your Vax cards as well as your mask, and make sure that you get there and get to your seats, because it's going to be a bunch of laughter, joy, squeals, all kinds of carrying on happening.
The biggest sing-along experience of your life. And I'll tell you, a lot of the adults are singing louder than their kids.
I plan to be that adult. I plan to be that adult. Thank you so much for being here and just, talking with us. And what better way to have my show come back after a 2-week little break than to talk to our very own Disney princess. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Can't wait to see you. So what did you think? Isn't Arielle doesn't her voice just sound like the most comforting princess we just needed in our whole lives? Make sure you catch her and all the Disney princesses this upcoming Tuesday at the Kimmel Center. Remember, in the show notes, we will include the link so that you can purchase your tickets. Also, make it an experience. Like, make sure you have your cameras ready, only if you're allowed to, outside, and get your stuff together. Arrive early, because everybody and their mom is going to be there. So arrive early, enough time for you to get situated and ready to go. Enjoy the show. I cannot wait. The drink of the day. The drink of the day is very simple. I actually took a cocktail learning class. And let me tell you, I had so much fun. I had never really made like a professional cocktail before, but I made a blackberry smash. Blackberry smash is absolutely everything. So in it, we muddled about 7 to 10 mint leaves. We added about 1.5 ounces of liquor of your choice, a half ounce of lemon, and a half ounce of simple or mint syrup. We shook it and shook it and shook it. We put it in an old-fashioned glass. We add a little bit of ice and a little bit of garnish. Of course, the fruit that I muddled together also was blackberry, because how can you have a blackberry smash without an actual blackberry? Yes. And it was absolutely delicious. I will be posting the cocktail class over the weekend. So if you follow me on the blog, it'll be up for Saturday for you to consume. I will list as many of the recipes in it, as well as show you the pictures of the drinks that I made and links of how, if you're in the Philadelphia area, how you can attend this class. You will not want to miss it. It's amazing. So with that in mind, have yourself a great weekend. Enjoy, find some me time, get some self-care. Get a little bit of sun. I find that in Philadelphia this weekend, the sun is supposed to be coming out. So get out, enjoy, and have an amazing weekend. Thank you as always for joining me. And I know that even in the deepest or joyful conversations, that there's something we can learn and apply. Until next time, I hope that you are doing better. If not, we will be back to talk some more and handle it. Peace to you and yours. Stay grounded.